welcome back to another session of the Hopry. My name is Starr, and today is Friday. Woo! Another week down. So today we are going to be looking at what I think most people will consider Founder's most highly acclaimed beer. It's called their KBS, which stands for Kentucky Breakfast Stout. Now, you know, what's funny, I think a lot of people think that they just take their regular breakfast stout and age a portion of it in bourbon barrels. From what I understand, that's not the case. They actually brew this beer in and of itself, and then they age it in these bourbon barrels for, you know, quite a long time. But they release this only once a year. This is another one of those beers that's so highly sought after that they virtually fly off the shelves. I think that if you don't know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's blowing somebody who knows somebody, chances are you're probably not going to find these in the stores. At least that's been my experience here in Kansas City, though I will give Aaron a beautiful shout out at Gomer's and Lee's Summit. He's very gracious with his beer. He always puts stuff out for folks to buy. He may limit it to 1 or 2 beers per person, but you know what? His goal is to get everybody to be able to buy 1 or 2 of these beers, and I just think that's a really respectable thing. So Aaron, keep doing the great work that you're doing out there. I make the trip out there anytime I can to buy my beer. In fact, I got some of them there this year. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this one. I will tell you right away that this one clocks in right about 12%. Actually, it says 11.2% on the bottle. So that's a pretty good, I totally stole that from Gary Vaynerchuk at Wine Library. I'm totally sorry. I've never thrown a cap at the camera, but hey, you know what? There's a first for everything. Gary, love you. Anyway, so let's go ahead and pour this thing, and I'm really anxious to try it. You know, this year is the first year I've been able to buy any of these, you know, so really kind of excited to dig into it. I have had a couple of these out in town. In fact, if you look at the most recent issue of Draft Magazine, they have this whole feature on the best burger and beer joints in the country. And one of them, in fact, I don't know if they're ranked, but one of the first ones they mention is Blanc Burgers and Bottles, which we have here in Kansas City on the Country Club Plaza. And so I was able to have a couple there one day and really, you know, kind of enjoy them there. But tonight I'm going to have my first one here at the house. Let's smell it. You know, there's like a chicory smell to this thing right off the bat that is really kind of interesting to me. You know, if you're not sure what chicory is, look it up. I think Dogfish Head actually makes a chicory stout, which would make sense, you know, using a product that enhances a characteristic that's already present in a beer. There's a lot of chicory in here to me. Almost kind of like an earthy aroma, but there's also tons of espresso coffee. Not just coffee, but espresso coffee, the kind that's so bitter that it's like a red eye. It just wakes you right up. Lots of coffee in there. Maybe just a touch of bittersweet chocolate, not a whole lot. I think the regular breakfast stout really highlights the chocolate a lot more. I'm really just getting a lot of the oak, the chicory, and the espresso coffee on the nose. And you'll notice too, not a whole lot of head, and I've given it a little swirl. I'm not going to agitate the hell out of it, but the head on it's really nice. It's got that, you know, traditional Russian Imperial Stout. I call it a roasted hazelnut brown color. Very, very beautiful. Let's taste it. I mean, there really is a reason why people just freak out over this beer. There's a touch too much burn on the you know, the throat right now, just because I know these were just released. But once you get past that alcohol burn, this is one of the most flavorful stouts on the market. You know, I really put this one up next to the Péché Mortel from Dieu du Ciel. You know, the other Founders, just the regular breakfast stout they have is up there as well. But there's a reason why this is continuously in the top 10 beers on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. at least in the Imperial Stout section. I mean, wow. I'm just going to take another sip. Amazing beer. I mean, this is just all kinds of good, all kinds of manliness. You know, you always used to hear George Carlin talk about whatever happened to the manly names like Chuck Steak. That's exactly what this is. This is the Chuck Steak of beer. It is manly. It's bitter. It's flavorful. It's roasty. There's not a whole lot of sweetness, which is really good. I think there's just enough sweetness to kind of help round out the beer, but the sweetness does not come to the forefront at all. And at the same time, it's not a watery beer, so that lets me know that there is some kind of, you know, muscle behind there. Really, you know, really one of the best beers I've had this year. I will, you know, probably have to count off just a touch for the heat. And I know people are going to send me emails and they're like, but Mark, you should wait until next year and then give it the 98 instead of a 97 or whatever the case may be. I am going to have to dock it just a little bit for the heat, though not very much, maybe a point. But I got to tell you, this will probably see my year-end list. It's that good. Really, really enjoy it. I mean, if you know somebody who really likes stouts and you trust the fact that they like, you know, some of the bigger stouts, the you know, more robust stouts, I mean, this is a pure treat. It's so good and it's so hard to get that I'll be honest, I think I've got, I don't know, maybe 3-4 packs back there left. And, you know, every night I come home from work and I'm like, what should I drink? And I look in the refrigerator and I come downstairs and I look at my other beers. And I always look at the KBS and I think, no, don't, you know, let those sit. And I'm sure it's because they're so hard to get and they're so good. But really, you know, I just like hanging on to these. Hopefully I'll get some next year and then I can really kind of, you know, let even a 4-pack of these sit another year. You know, after 2 years, I think this will probably be one of the sickest beers out there. I know a lot of people are really crazy for the Hunapus right now from Cigar City. I can't get one of those. If you're somebody that can get me one, please send me an email. I'll pay you. I'm not going to pay you stupid eBay prices, but you know, I'll pay you. Maybe even give you a couple of these. You know, my email address is thehopry@yahoo.com. Just reach out to me. I'd love to trade for the Hunapus, but. Anyway, really love this one. Again, probably going to score pretty highly because it's Friday, because it's been such a hectic week. I think I'm just going to cut off the camera, maybe hop up here on the couch, get a book, turn on a little bit of music, maybe some, you know, some jazz sounds good tonight, maybe some Ornette Coleman, you know, maybe some Logan Richardson. Look up Logan Richardson. If you haven't heard this guy, he's from New York, younger guy. Awesome jazz musician, great saxophone player. But anyway, that's probably what I'm going to do the rest of the night. I'm glad you guys came and joined me again for this entire week dedicated to Founders Brewing Company, one of my favorite breweries out there. And hopefully we'll get back together with Tim next week and we'll start looking at Russian River. If not, I may just throw in a couple of shorts until then and, you know, kind of get us by. But either way, continue to bring you these good beer reviews and hope that you enjoy them. My name is Mark Starr. Go to thehopry.com and watch my videos. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you later. Cheers. Chuck Steak, man. This is the Chuck Steak of beers. God damn it. I miss George Carlin, man. When he died, the world lost a great man that day. Horrible. Horrible.